Hello, welcome all to our new digital skills for everyday tasks by our host, Roberto Martinez from Braven. He has some exciting news to share, and he's going to go ahead and guide us with his knowledge of digital skills so we can help become organized and help grow our businesses. Thank you, Roberto, for joining us, and thank you, Rocio from Bella's Entrepreneurs for joining us, our partner. You want to go ahead and introduce Roberto, Rocio?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Buenas tardes. This is Rocio with Bella. I'm happy to partner up here with Roberto and Diana to bring this information to you. We are recording and Diana will be sending the link out. She puts it on her YouTube channel for Goddess Mercado. So if you all want to review it later, you can definitely do that. I'm going to introduce, well, actually, I'll have Roberto introduce himself, but I'm going to just hand him the mic for the seed so that he can introduce himself and get started on the session that we have planned for you. So go ahead, Robert.
Muchas gracias, Rocio. Thank you so much. What's really cool is yesterday I did this training in Spanish and people loved it. And so hopefully y'all would love this session in English. It was very engaging. And hopefully you guys will find some value. I'm really excited about this workshop. It's all about how to work remotely and how to make sure that we can be productive in the new world post-COVID. And so, Rocio, thank you so much for having me here. Goddess Mercado, always great. I love you too, and I love what you guys are doing, and I love the community you guys are building, and I'm excited for 2023. I think there's a lot of cool stuff in the works. And so, who am I? Why am I in front of you all? Me llamo Roberto Martinez. You call me Roberto, Robert, but not Bob or Bobby. that's my one thing, my one rule. I've been doing this for 5 years for Google in some capacity, either the national trainer or a state trainer or a city trainer, but now I'm covering the state of California. If you have any questions, you could email me at robertomar@google.com. You can also message me via my social media channels if you have questions after the session. I'm also an entrepreneur. I started my company many, it doesn't seem that long ago, but I was talking to people and it's been 6+ years. It's gone really fast, and we're very excited. We have a bunch of cool programs coming up in 2023 that I'll definitely inform the team about, so that you guys could get some free services from us. In any case, I'm an entrepreneur like you. I started because I wanted to help out our business community learn how to leverage digital tools and digital training, and I wanted to make sure we can all use this session to learn how to use the materials that Google provides us at no cost. So what's really useful is if you guys have any questions, you guys could just write them in the chat, and I'll make this very interactive. That was what was magical about yesterday's session. It was all in Spanish, and everyone had questions about how to use this particular tool, why I would use it. So I'm gonna use Diana and Rocio as an example, but if you have any questions, feel free to jump in there. So we all know this now. You'll be surprised how many folks, I mean, I guess you wouldn't because you're working remotely now. I never knew how many people had dogs. I assume people have the little mascotas and little dogs and cats, but holy crap, I think I'm in a meeting every day where I hear barking, at least twice. And it's because, we love our little animals. So we want to make sure that we control the environment where we have the meetings. I think it humanizes us having dogs and having interruptions. But now I'm starting to think, man, this is something that everyone has a challenge with, which is controlling their environment. And so you want to figure out where you work remotely. I'm sure you guys already know this, but I also think Rocio and Diana and I were talking about self-care a little bit beforehand. And we want to make sure you care for yourself, you care for your family, and that has to do with having these scheduled breaks in between your day. I think there's a lot of work to be done. And I know that when I work remotely, I do way more than when I go into the office. So we have to take care of ourselves and have those breaks. So we're going to talk a little bit about tools today that's going to help you structure your day. It's going to help you work with coworkers, and it's going to help you be able to be more productive and efficient in your day-to-day task using Google tools. Okay, So we're going to focus on 3 specific tool sets. The first one is how to create a to-do list. Sounds easy enough, but most of us might not know that Google has a bunch of free products that help us create that to-do list at no cost to us. And that tool is Google Docs and the Google templates available to us. Then we're going to talk a little bit about how to collaborate with our teams using Google Excel sheets, as well as how to create presentations using Google Presentations. There's a lot of functionality there. Most people don't realize how much you can leverage and how much certain other tools that you use already, like PowerPoint or Word, can be uploaded to your Google Drive and leveraged. So we'll touch a little bit about that. So here's the 3 things. Doesn't seem like a lot, but we're going to definitely dive in a little bit deeper and talk about how they work. So the first one is to create a to-do list so that you could structure your day. The second thing is how to create an agenda using a Google Doc. And the third is a presentation. And then we're going to touch a little bit of resources. For those of us here, how many have our own business already? Press 1. Google has an amazing tool available to you all. It's called Google Certifications. And they give you a free grant where you can give away to your employees free certifications at no cost to you. Which is what we want. We want prospective customers to be able to, yeah, perfect, Diana, to give away upskill training. So if you want to get trained in the latest tools, we can definitely do that. All right. So the first thing we want to do is you want to start off with signing into your Google Gmail account. If you don't have a Gmail account, it's free. We recommend everyone does it. I'm sure most of you all have a Google Gmail account. And if you don't, all you have to do to sign up is go to gmail.com and create your own. So once you do that, Google gives you an array of free applications. These are just some of the applications you get when you sign up for Google Tools. Google Gmail, and it's I think it's like over 20 different applications that you can use. Most of the ones we're going to talk about today is all around productivity in the workplace. So obviously my biggest one, my favorite one of all of these is Google Chrome, which is the web browser. So you have your Safari web browser, you have your Mozilla, and you have Google Chrome. I absolutely love Google Chrome. Most of us, without realizing it, might be using Google Chrome, but we'll touch a little bit on that. Okay, so here, if you want to follow along with me, what are we going to do? We're going to log in. We're going to go into our Google Drive, and we're going to start accessing our Google Doc. And most of us know how to do this already. We're like pros, but let's walk you through it. So I'm opening up my browser, my Google Chrome browser, and on the top right, we have all the different applications available to us once we sign up for our Gmail. So we have if you have a business, you have your business profile there, you have your email, you have your administration, because Google offers your Google Workspace, which is a whole other topic. If you guys want to talk about that, we could definitely touch on that. Google Doc, Drive, Sheets, Google Ads. If you run ads, you just a bunch of really cool applications. But what we're going to do is we're going to go into our Google Drive, and we're going to click on that, and then we're going to see our Google Drive here. We're going to go to the very left. We're going to open up and click on the new button, and then we're going to go down to Google Sheets. We're going to click on this little arrow and go to templates. Once we do that, it's going to populate, and we're going to be able to see all the different templates that Google has for us. And so this is just a few of them that we can use. And then we're going to go to the left-hand side and click on our to-do list. Once we do that, it self-populates. And now you have your to-do list where you could start creating the list of actions that you want to do. So we'll go back to the presentation while we catch up to that piece. Very straightforward, right, ladies and gents? I'm sure you guys know how to do this already. If you don't, happy to stop here and answer any questions you may have. Okay, so we went in there, we clicked on new, we clicked on Google Sheets, we opened up the template, and we started working on our to-do list. All right, so what can we do? We can start populating the different actions that we need to do. We can start adding dates to when it's due, and we can start requesting people to complete the action we want them to do. So we can also start creating different columns and rows. These are called cells for whatever reason. It's because 25 years ago, 30 years ago, when Microsoft came out, They created this really cool tool. I think Google Sheets and Excel is probably one of the most useful tools that we have available to ourselves as business entrepreneurs, because there's just so much functionality here. But here you are, you can start creating the information. You can start adding and populating columns and rows, and you can even fill in the different colors that you want for your columns and rows. And you can start assigning folks to those items and rows. So once we do that, I'm going to show you guys how to go about doing that. Here it is. We're going to click on the column as a whole, and then we're going to use our two little indexes and then right click, and we're going to insert a column to the right, and we're going to task right here, and that created a new column. We're going to label this. And once we label this, we're going to put owner. And then here as an owner, we're going to put, let's say we're going to put Diana. And so she's the owner, and this is going to be Rocio. And we can start adding folks as we see it. Now, let's say you want to use the colors of our company. We want to stay on brand. We highlight the area we want to color, and then we're going to go on the right-hand side. And this, you see this little bucket, it looks like, and you're going to fill that in with a certain color. Goddess always shines brightly. So we want a really colorful, beautiful color for them, because that's what they represent. And so there you go. You have that particular color, and you can stay on message and on brand. I just had a meeting with a very big organization, a multi-billion-dollar company, and everything is on brand. I mean, their Zoom is on brand, their emails on brand, everything is in the same color, same font, same style, because they want to create uniformity. So some little things that you can do that. Now, let's say I want to give access to this document to Rocio or to Diana. How do I go about doing that? You guys all know. You go to share, and then here it's going to be able to, I'm going to be able to give access to the folks that I want. I'm going to type in Rocio, and there's Rocio's email address. And then what kind of level of access do I want? Do I want her to view the document? This only allows her to view the document. Do I want her to comment on the document? This only allows her to leave comments on the document, or to go in there and edit. I can also add an expiration date, which is a new feature, which allows her to only see the prospective document for a certain amount of time. And something, please, Rocio, can you please review the to-do list by end of day? And she has 13 minutes to review it. So then I send it to her, and her email address is going to receive an email notifying her that now she has access to this document. What I can also do is leave comments. So I go to the top right corner, and that little, it looks like a text message. That's the functionality to leave a comment. And what I want to do here, I'm going to do it on, not on that particular cell, but on this one, because that's what Rocio is responsible for. At Rocio, where are we? The year-end budget, right? And we're going to assign to Rocio. And now Rocio has this as homework, if you will. She's got pinged that I want her to complete this action in a timely fashion. And now she knows that I know that I sent her an email. What's really cool about all these tools is that it's always tracked. So if you go on the top right document, you could click on that and you can see who has access to the document, what's it doing, how it's trending, the comments left, the shared history, who shared what and when. So you're always in control of your documents, which, you know, privacy is extremely important for us. So we want to make sure everybody knows what's going on and who's receiving that information and why they're receiving that information. So let me stop there. I threw a lot at you guys in a short amount of time. Do you guys have any questions about how to use and how to share and how to add folks to documents? You guys seem pretty advanced, so if you guys don't, I'll go back to the presentation.
My only question
Yes,
is, can I get like an alert on my phone, like a reminder, like?
yes. So Diana, I'm going to do the same to you. I'm going to give you access to, so another way you could give access is this way. So now the document is telling me if you give her and ping her, you can let her know, and you could give her a certain amount of access to this document. So I'm going to make her into an editor, and I'm going to share it out. So now Diana is going to get an email in her inbox. That's the way we notify Diana that she needs to do this work. And so if I want her to like review marketing plan for 2023, and we're going to give that to Diana as well. I'm gonna Diana. So now she knows, and the moment I send this out, she's going to receive an email. So I know for a fact that she knows that she received that email. So I can't tell you, I can't keep sending you emails, but I can keep sending notifications. I mean, I can't send you like an alarm, but what I can do is send you notifications every single time I need you to complete this, right? So it allows for us to work on a document together. Great question. Okay. So as we're working through this document, we filled in the color, we changed it, we added the folks in the list. We might want to wonder, like, where's that document in our drive? So I think that's a fair question. A lot of people are like, I don't know where I left my document. Can you let me know where it's at? So we go to our Google Drive. Oh, first of all, let's make sure we label this. So Goddess Mercado. And then it's 2023 to-do list. I'm gonna delete this. So that's the new name. So now I want to find it in my documents, and I have a ton of documents. I have so many documents. I think I have over 263 gigabytes of documents and videos and pictures and all kinds of stuff, because 6 years of working is all saved here. So I'm going to go Goddess Mercado 2023 search, and it's going to search my folder, and there it is. There's my document, as you guys can see. So now it's right there anytime I need to access it. Now let's say I want to organize my information. You saw those folders that I have. I could move this, and I could move it to different folders and drop it. Oops, it's this one, and drop it in there. Like, where do I want to have it? Right. So all that is important stuff that we can definitely do and organize it. The other hack that I have for y'all is, if we want to find a document we recently created, we can go to recent, and there it is. And it tells you when it was created, what's the size, and who created it. And so we can always find the document that we need as we're building this stuff out. Okay. Any questions about how to find a document if it gets lost in the drive? You know, yesterday, one of the attendees told me, can they get lost? Or can it get deleted? Or can someone hack it? And the beauty is, you have complete control over your drive. You allow people access to the drive, and you kick people out of the drive. So it's up to you how you want to manage that access. Okay. So now we talked about how to create your to-do list. Now let's talk about how to build a project tracker. Now this is really robust. And what you can do, let's say we're launching a restaurant. We can create a whole Excel sheet and start developing out the task, the status, the date, the start date, the end date, the owner, the resources, the notes, and who completes it. And so we can obviously go into a project tracking template if we want to. We go insert it into the Google Drive, click on templates, and then find the project tracking template that we think we need to track. There's a bunch of them. And so let me just show you that very quickly, just so that you know where to find that. For those of us who, you know, might have taken courses online or did project management, there's even a Gantt chart here. And this is, you know, very, I use it for my big projects. I should say, I have my team use it for our big projects. So what is a Gantt chart? Great question. It is, you know, there's 5 stages in any project management. And And there's like the ideation, there's the creation, there's the launch, there's the monitor, and there's the review. My project management professor will be very proud of me and that I remember that. Oh, and it's defined here. And so when you think about any project, it's a project manager, quote unquote, breaks it up into 5 pieces. And so, when you have a massive project, let's say you're developing up a new website for your company, or you're launching a new company, right? You're launching a company. There's like accounting, finance, marketing, sales. There's like a lot of different departments that you need to create. But a lot of it is on the planning side. About 20 to 30% of your work is going to be done in the launch up to the company. Once it's launched, everything else is very, very straightforward. I think most of our work is on the leading up to the launch of any kind of campaign. So what a Gantt chart does for you is that you start filling out the name of the particular project, who's the task owner, the start date, the due date, and how much you project it takes to complete that. And then right here we have 4 phases over 12 weeks. 12 weeks, why 12 weeks? Because it's a quarter system, right? So a month, it's 3 months, 3 months makes a quarter, and there's 4 quarters in a year. And so in business jargon, when we create our campaigns, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, the quarters in the year. And so when we launch a campaign, most campaigns are for 3 months. But they could be for 1 month, depending on how big or how small the campaign is. But these are all the people that are tasked with it, and then when they're going to start on the campaign and how long it's going to take for them to complete it. And so that's what you're seeing here, the percentage of completion. Anyways, geeking out on project management, it's one of the classes that I'm taking right now, just to brush up on them again. Really important course, but that's how you can track your campaigns or your actions or your to-do list. Now let's go back to the presentation. Any questions about that? And how you can access all these different documents on Google Drive. Very cool. All right. Okay, so now we've kind of done that. We've developed it out. Now we may want to do and launch a. Oh, we might have a question. Let me see. I would love to a workshop on project management. Yes, there's definitely a workshop on project management. And remember I mentioned the certification program and getting certified. There's actually a certification that Google provides us that's called certification for project management. And it's free. If you have a business, you apply to the grant for Google and you can get up to 100 free certifications for you and your employees. Really cool stuff. Most people don't take advantage of it for whatever reason. Okay, dokie. So now we have the Excel sheet. We have to create an agenda of the project. What do? We go to new, we click on Google Sheets templates, and then we open up the template that we want. That's the one I just showed you for event tracking. And so this is for events. It could be for development, for a website, whatever you want. It's all up to you. There's other template types that have different functionalities. There's like the one that I showed you is very, very detailed. You might just want to have a high level overview one, depending on how much, like a lot of construction companies and development companies use these Gantt charts because they want like a high level overview of where the project is at. So it depends how much detail you need. This is more high level. So like you could see one of the charts reports to the other chart because this is more of a high level reporting mechanism. And there's another template that tracks budget, right? So like, what do we need? So each template does a different action that you might want to track. One is very in the grains and granular and detailed. The other one's a macro level overview if you're hitting your milestones. The other one is tracking budget and tracking revenue. So cool stuff. Not going to dwell on that too much unless you guys have any questions. All right, no questions. We'll keep it moving. All right, so let's say you have to now report this out and you have to create a report for your team or for your bosses. So how do we do that? We're going to go and we're going to create a meeting notes, and you're going to have a meeting with your team, and you're going to talk about what is going on this month for that campaign. So what are we going to do? We're going to go in there, we're going to populate a document, and we're going to start editing it. So we go into the drive, we go on the left-hand side, we could go on Google Docs, we go to templates, we click on templates, and now we have a slew of different types of templates that we can use. Here's for project proposal if you're pitching a project. Here's for meeting notes. There's different styles that you might want. Just a slew of different formats that we might want to use. Job promotion, receipts. But right now, let's stay focused. Though I'm like a squirrel. Let's talk about meeting notes. And so we have the meeting notes here. I'm open this one. And so that I don't even like this one. I don't like the fonts. I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna go to slides, templates, and I'm going to choose this one. This is a little bit more colorful. So you might have a quarterly board meeting, and we write in the people who we want, and we can start editing this document immediately. And so same thing as the Google Sheets, you can start writing in people's names. The CEO is Diana. This CFO would be, I don't know, Rocio, good with numbers. She works for a bank right now, so that's good. And then I will put myself as a CTO. Great. So now we have all this, and then we have someone that might be a secretary that's counting the minutes or managing the minutes. When you're in a board, everyone there has to be someone taking notes of the minutes. Murphy, it's just a bunch of little things that you have to keep track of when you have a board or work for a nonprofit or create a nonprofit. Creates the agenda, the notes, the action items for that day. So as you see here, that's exactly what we have in this document. We're going to manage the meetings. We're going to write and edit the comments. We're going to insert comments. I already showed you guys how to insert comments, which is great. And then we're going to give people access to this particular document so that they could edit it as they see fit. I showed you how to edit documents. You go in and how to give access to the document to different members of your team. You write in their email address, you give them the level of access you want them to have, and then they can start editing and amending as they see fit. And who controls the files? You control the files. If you created the files, very important piece. If you created the files, you have ultimate control around the files. And there's obviously the owner of the business can't control everything. And what do I mean by that? They have access to your Google Drive if they gave you a Google Drive email, Google Workspace email, excuse me. But for the most part, all that information is going to be there. And you're going to individually invite people to the document so they can mark it and control it. So now we have our minutes, we have our contract. Now we want to talk about sharing this out to as many people as possible so that they can see how amazing we are. So how do we do this? We do this with a template of a Google presentation. So we're going to do a status report, and we're going to click on this. And there we go. We have a status report project. And so these colors are ugly. I don't like this orange. I'm going to change the page preview. And so we can see how it looks like the overall slides. We could hide the background. We could change it. We could change the colors. We could even change the font if we want. Page layouts, we might not want that page layouts. The theme, here we have different color themes. Maybe not. This one looks cool. Let's see how this one looks. So now the theme looks different. You see how we have different formats on the way we want. This is a little bit more professional. It all depends on your personal brand and what your brand represents. I like creating my own templates because I mean, it's a good start, but it's not what I want it to look like as a marketing agency. I want it to be very, very high color, easy to follow, a lot of visuals, but it all depends on how your business runs. In any case, here's your project. I'm going to move away from that color. That's not a fun color. Let's go with this one. And so as you can see here, you can go in there and start changing out the information that you need for your presentation to present this to the board of directors or to an investor or to a team members outside of your department if you want to socialize the presentation. And it works the same. You go here to share the document, and you can share it with whoever you want, Rocio or your team. It doesn't matter. You could add comments here. You click on comment section, and then you say, hey, I need you to update this particular slide. When I create presentations, I always get my team involved. So I get like my operations director and then my account manager. I'm like, hey, these 3 slides, can you update for the numbers? On these 3 slides, can you update for the deliverables? On this slide, can you update the KPIs for the quarter? And so I segment all the presentations out accordingly so that they help me create it. More hands on deck, faster it gets done, and faster we're moving on to presenting the actual solution. So a lot of functionality, and a lot of people don't know this. Let's say we want to add an image here. There's a couple ways you could insert. You could click on insert, go to image, and you could upload from your own computer, or you could search the web. And what you do is you click here, and then we want to, let's say we want to add, what do you guys want to add? What's a Christmas party? Winter. That's funny. All right. So we have a bunch of, oh, that's cute. I'm going to insert it. And then it self-populates that image into my Google Doc. Same thing works for videos. If you want to increase and insert a particular video, you go to videos, and then let's say you want a baby dancing. We click on that, and now we have babies dancing. We're going to click on, let's click on this one. And so now we have a baby dancing. And you can control when it starts, when it ends, into your Google slide. Pretty cool. At least I think it's cool. Depending on where you want that particular slide to fit in or go. There's a lot of additional functionalities. You could add GIFs, obviously. Oh, it's so cute. Very cool. Let's remove this. All right. So again, you can insert these things. I'm sure you guys know how to use Google Slides or PowerPoint presentations, so I won't go too much time into it. But it's the exact same discussion we're having. Who controls the axis? How do you create it? How do you change the layouts? How do you change who sees it? You add visuals, you add titles, and you can find them on your drive. Now, before I end, one of the questions that someone asked is, what about PowerPoints? So let's say I want to convert a PowerPoint into a Google slide. How do I do that? So you're going to have to open up your computer, and let's say we want a PowerPoint, and we look it up online for, I don't know, what do you guys want to look up? Let's look up yearly review PPT template. And we're going to go down here. We're going to find a template to download online that we like, that don't charge us. Or about marketing plan PPT template. It's pretty cool that there's this whole subs marketplace where people can literally sell templates for you to download. I always find that really interesting, that a whole niche industry was launched for folks to create and sell templates. And so that's what you're seeing here. You're seeing all these other agencies just create a bunch of templates and then sell them at a price. Maybe I need a better version of this. Let me see, university. Still nothing. That's impressive. PowerPoint templates. Let's look at university presentations. Okay, here we go. Download theme. Let's see what happens. There it is. Oh my goodness, it's a zip file. More than I'm buying more than I thought. But this is a university. I trust it because it's EDU. That's interesting. So they created their own templates, as you can see here, and it's a university. And so I'm interested to see how the zip file looks like and what's inside that zip file. Okay, let's look in here. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at what it is. So it's self-populating. Okay, it doesn't want to open. So we're not going to bother it. Doesn't want to open. We're going to go back. Go back one more time. We're going to go into this one. Maybe it's this one here. There it is. And so here's a template that I found online. And maybe you like the style, Utah Valley. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to drop it into one of my folders. I'm gonna drag it and drop it into downloads. I'm gonna have it here, and there it is. And now I'm gonna drag this into my Google Drive. So I'm gonna open up Google Drive, and I see there's some questions. Let me do this real quick, and then I'll answer those questions. Here's Google Drive. I'm gonna drop it into Google Drive, boom. And now on the left-hand corner on my Google Drive is gonna tell me how long it takes to upload it. And see, less than a minute left as it's being uploaded into my Google Drive. And so it's thinking. Jennifer, in customizing our own templates, are there particular resources and considerations to help stylize? Yes, Jennifer, I love that question. So, okay, let me show you where it looks and where it lives. There it is. So you see how it says PPTX? That means Google did not change the format. It's exactly as if you're working on it on your computer. And so it's recreating that slide on Google Slides, but it's saving it as a PPT file, a PowerPoint presentation file. So it's right now formatting it accordingly. But Jennifer, you have a great question. And when you talk about stylizing your presentations, what are you seeing here with Utah Valley University is you're seeing their brand, right? So what's our brand logo, which is this, which I don't really like, but whatever, it's my people saw it 1941, so it's somewhat old. Their color is obviously green. This is their font. So all of that is part of your brand. And so there's something called a style guide or a capability deck that has your style guide, where it has your brand. And so I'll give you an example. So before I answer your question, Jennifer, what you see here is that now you could go in here and start changing the things around. You could edit it as you see fit, and maybe this is just inspiration, right? They have all these cool features, all this cool information already for you to go in there and edit as you see fit. So you don't necessarily even have to, which is really cool. You don't even have to create your own presentations. You can find something online for free, upload it to the Google Drive, and then change it. So that, like, it's saved as a PPT file, but let's say we want to save it as a Google slide. So now I'm saving it as a Google slide. So now I have both the PPT version and the Google slide version for whatever reason. So some folks in our business are like, I don't know how to use Google Slides. Fine, we'll use the PPT file. Some people do know how to use slides and they like it better. So now I'm using it in the format of a Google Slides. So as you see here, we have two versions of it now. We can obviously download whichever one we want. If we want to download it, we click and we download the document into our computer. But you brought up a good point. So what is a brand style guide? Oh, that's an old one. It's just yeah, it's old enough. I think so. This is an old brand that we worked with in the past, 2016. So you could tell how old my agency is. Very simple. This is a very famous foundation out in the Bay. It's part of a bigger Hispanics in Philanthropy. If you guys have ever heard of that organization, this was a spin-off of it. Didn't last very long, but this is their logo, and this is their fonts, and this is their colors. So when you work with a graphic designer or a creative designer, you want to give this to them, and guess what? All their presentations are going to be in what? In these colors. What about the fonts? The fonts are going to be in this color. So when you talk about customizing your presentation, Jennifer, you want to stay brand loyal. So it's very important. Like it's one of the biggest things about having consistency and showing professionalism for your brand. I'll show you one that we're working on right now with our creative team. This is their a current brand that we're working with. It's called Mezcal Papi. And this is their style guide, their color, their fonts, their visual identity, how it looks like as an icon on social sites, how it looks like on topography, just really cool stuff, so that when you give it to your graphic designer, when they're creating flyers, promotions, presentations, video, everything is on brand. I mean, this looks really pretty. She does an amazing job. I love my team that I work with, but you kind of forget how amazing they are until you see their work again. You're like, holy crap, this work is great. And that's not to brag about my team, but like our graphic designer, she's a creative director, actually. Her name's Andrea. I mean, look at this. This is really high quality. On average, something like this in the marketplace for the general market. And when I talk about the general market, what I mean to say is the general market, meaning non-diversity, the Uber, the Coca-Cola, the Fortune 500 businesses, they pay $10, $15, $20, $25,000 for a professional to do this, for a professional creative agency, design agency to create this design. This is at that level. I mean, literally, she's doing amazing work. I need to talk to her about it, because this is fantastic. And so these creative agencies are, and so this company, right? This company does not have the budget of a Coca-Cola, the budget of a Wells Fargo, for example. And so he's never, or she's never going to be able to invest into this type of design element. But through programming that we worked on, we're able to provide that to this company and give them proper direction, which is, I mean, just look at this. This is beautiful. In any case, very proud of the work that we're doing with the community. So to answer your question, Jennifer, that's what you want to see. You want to see the brand style reflected in all your assets. So even my company and the what is a capability? Everything has its own look. Everything is in the same font, same brand, and everything is uniform. So every time you touch our brand, it looks exactly the same, which is extremely important. This is our style capability deck, and this is the format that we follow for whatever reason. Now, the formats change. It depends on what your industry is and how you want to communicate that. Okay, any other questions? Kim, thank you so much for joining. Look forward to connecting with you folks. We'll definitely connect online. All right. Enough of that. Any other questions before I move on and I recap the session for today? All right. Oh, we have a question. Yes. All right. So let's recap this session, and then I'll send over the free certification for you all. Update your presentations. Obviously, there's a bunch of other apps, like I mentioned a little bit earlier. There's Google Forms where you can send out surveys. There's sites. If you don't have a website yet, you could create a free website that Google gives you through Google Sites. We talked about presentations. We talked about Google Calendar, which we did not touch on, which is a whole other workshop, and Google Meet, which is what Google's version of Zoom is. So really cool stuff there. We want you to go in there and play with the different tools available to you. We have a bunch of free skills. If you want to learn in your own pace, I would suggest you go to Google Applied Digital Skills and learn at your pace. We also have learning sessions and learning centers where you can go and answer questions that you may have. We also have
the African store is upstairs.
Whoops. Let me mute the line because I'm hearing some feedback. And with that, I'd love to thank you all for joining me today. Here's the list of all the different applications that I ran through today and I presented today. And please stay tuned because we do have a raffle. Rocio lets us know we have a raffle for you all. So if you guys want to take a screenshot, and thank you so much. Let me pass along, let me stop sharing, turn it over to Rocio, and then pass along that free certification program so you guys can see how you guys can get Google certifications. Rocio, the floor is yours.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Roberto. Diana, can you set up the raffle? Like what are the prizes?
Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. So Rocio's going to be raffling off a gift certificate, a $25 gift certificate to the Goddess Mercado Boutique in El Sereno. It has to be redeemed within the next 2 weeks. Otherwise, our goddesses, get confused. And also, we're going to raffle off 3 Goddess Mercado t-shirts. There are a variety of sizes available. And before she does a raffle, I also want to remind you that we have what I love about Roberto's workshops is that we record them. We have them on our YouTube channel. And I go back and I watch the workshops over and over, especially one of the first ones. My favorite is the Reach Your Customers Online. So I invite you to go to our YouTube channel to look at a variety of workshops that Robert has offered. They're fun, and we have a charming host. So please, I invite you to join us, subscribe, and go ahead, take it away, Rocio. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just gonna drop in the chat the if you got employees and you want to upskill them for free, apply to the Google grant, and it's called Grow with Google Employees Development. So you can apply for that. You get 100 free certifications for your business employees. And if you're an employee of one, certify yourself over whatever workshop you want. We have project management, UX design, we have IT and analytics. Yes. Okay, Rocio.
Great. Okay, so there's 3 then. Diana, I spin it 3 times. You said 2 shirts and a gift certificate, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna do this 3 times. First winner.
Yay.
Bravo.
Gaudencio is actually one of the partners for our Queer Mercado and Goddess Mercado. So you'll have to visit now, Gaudencio.
He's locked in. Let's see, this is for the shirt, right? The t-shirt.
Ryan Montes.
I'm excited.
Yes.
All right, Ryan.
Congratulations, Ryan. We'll see you at the Goddess Mercado Boutique in El Sereno, open Wednesday through Sunday, 12 to 6.
Last one here for the shirt is Martin, it looks like.
Yay.
Love it.
Thank you, Martin, for joining. Yes.
Felicidades. I'm going to make sure I get you a nice one that's nice and tight for you.
I was gonna say, I love the fact, I don't know if you guys saw the spinning wheel, that it's branded Bella. So good job, Rocio. You're branding it. That's the way it should be. Brand everything.
I'm not very tech savvy, but I learned how to do that, so I'm very proud of myself.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Diana.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
guys.
Thank you
Robert.
again, Roberto. Get some rest, and we'll see you in the next workshop. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Everyone.
I need to stop recording.